I'm Brian, and that's Jeremy. Every week on PSVR,
This week,
we take a look at the new VR games that are coming to the PlayStation Store this week.
we gather up all the trailers we can find, all the descriptions we can plagiarize, and we condense them down into this short video for you.
Sometimes we look at delayed games, updates, delays, or new game announcements.
So without further ado, here's PSVR This Week.
After 2 weeks of non-stop PlayStation VR releases, I'm actually thrilled to have a week off to catch up on some older titles and to take a look ahead and see what's coming next. Zero Caliber is a military first-person shooter developed exclusively for VR. Customize your weapons on the fly, fight alongside your friends in co-op, and use your tactical skills to save humanity. Featuring an engaging story, realistic weapon handling, and physics in an immersive environment, Zero Caliber has been on Steam Early Access for a while now. But Xreal Games just announced that their game finally has a late Q2 2020 release window on PlayStation VR. It's a little ways out, but this might just be the next big multiplayer first-person shooter for the platform. Another Xreal game is making its way over to PlayStation VR, and this one is called A-Tec Cybernetic. It features 2 separate game modes, a classic swarm mode to put your shooting and survival skills to the test, and a story mode that takes you to a futuristic biomedical company overrun by mutants. Control everything with real-life movements, interact with your surroundings as if they were actually there, and experience a new kind of gameplay that's more immersive than ever before thanks to VR. Xreal is aiming for a Q1 2020 release, and with its positive reviews on Steam Early Access, this one has us excited. Man, we've been really tough on developer Highwire games even before Golem ever launched, and we're thrilled to say that not only have they taken all of our ribbing in stride, but they've also been listening to the community. And with update 1.02 that dropped yesterday, they've delivered a ton of amazing additions to one of our favorite PlayStation VR games. Left-handed mode, support for the navigation controller, options to improve DualShock 4 support, to make head-turning optional, and a bunch of other awesome quality of life updates were all included. But if you think that Highwire is throwing in the towel after this, guess again. They're hinting that their next patch will offer support for a second move controller, and possibly even a hard mode. Sacra, the Archer's Tale, will take you on a quest for a magic stone that grants you power over dragons. Dozens of fights with hordes of enemies will be thrown at you and your allies along the way, featuring a breathtaking, immersive storyline that will carry you into a world of dark fantasy with realistic, lifelike bow mechanics. Expect to see Sacra, the Archer's Tale on PlayStation VR sometime in December. Last week we announced that Perp Games was bringing BoxVR to retail here in North America, and this week we actually have 3 physical copies to give away. So, how do you enter? Same as always. Leave your PSN name in the comments below, and we'll pick 3 winners at random on this week's episode of PSVR Gamescast Live, which airs every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Duplicate entries will be disqualified. It's not a secret that Alvo hasn't had the easiest development cycle, but you've got to hand it to the team over at Martinpole. They've been working hard to improve the look and feel of their 5v5 shooter and responding to all the concerns from the PSVR community. This new footage shows off a lot of those improvements, but keep in mind that Alvo is still pre-alpha, so consider this more of an update from the team rather than a look at the final product. Once you've watched this video, if you have any feedback for Martinpole, click the link in the description and head over to their YouTube channel, where they can tackle your questions and comments personally. And yes, those blinders that keep popping up, along with any click turning you might see, are 100% optional. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of PSVR
This week. We'll be back next week to tell you about all the VR games coming to the PlayStation Store.
But keep in mind that no one outside of Sony really knows what games are coming when.
But we'll do our best to keep you up to date each and every week on PSVR This Week.